Hi, we're here on Route 66, Devil's Elbow, and we are talking with, what's your name?
Terry Robertson.
And Terry is the owner of this Elbow Inn.
Of the business.
Yeah, of the business. Can you tell us about it and what all happened? And I believe you flooded away. And
Well, the story of the Elbow starts with Munger Moss. This was originally Munger Moss Sandwich Shop, opened in 1929. Same route, same place. And in 26, this was designated Route 66. So they built this here in 29 to accommodate business travelers on Route 66, like all the motor courts and all the motels and everything that sprang up back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, because it was a main thoroughfare, west to east, east to west. Stayed Munger Moss. Started out with the original, just central portion of the building. Added the house on the end a few years later, and then this was added on in the 50s, I think, back in the 50s. But in 43, 44, they opened the new stretch, the four-lane stretch of highway, and literally shut this off, shut the community off. So Munger Moss moved. They sold the place and moved to Lebanon, Missouri, where they still have the Munger Moss Motel. It's changed hands, but it's still called the Munger Moss Motel. The Thompsons, the Thompson family, this is a pioneer settlement family in this area, bought this property, and that's when it was named the Elbow Inn Bar and Barbecue. And it had little cabins in the back at one time, but the river kept taking them away. So it stopped being a true inn, but they kept the name Elbow Inn Bar and Barbecue. And the Thompsons have owned it since then. They still own it now. We rent from Jug and Pam Thompson. Carol Thompson was alive then. It was Jug's wife. And we started in 06 with them. And we still rent the property. It's 17 acres, and it's reasonable. They've really taken good care of us. Good family to work for and with. And we leased the business end of it. So we own the business end of it. We leased the property. And the name will stay with the property because we actually leased the name too. These it's got such a long history. It literally closed down in '77 as a bar and restaurant, and it became houses or apartments till '97. 20 years it was closed, and in '97 the new owners or the new proprietors came in, the Libertons, and they rented the place and they opened it up, and it eventually grew into a biker bar. But at that time, the growth of Route 66 tourism was just booming, starting to take off, and so it just grew and grew and grew, and it became an attraction for motorcycle riders on Route 66. And actually Route 66 spawned an industry in rentals of Harley Davidsons in Chicago and LA, and riding them one way or the other on a big tour, like a 21 to 22 day tour. It's really been interesting time for us to meet a lot of folks from all over the world. Ireland, Scotland, South Africa, China. We've had many events take place in this building that were just unbelievable. But by and large, we've been very successful. We've had floods for off and on, bad floods for 30 years, 40 years, but nothing like what we saw this time. Worst floods in this community, the worst one was in 1982, and I was stationed here as a conservation agent then, or people know us as game wardens. And it got at the bottom of the bridge, and it got close to getting in the back door here, but not much. And it was still apartments then, it wasn't a business. So every year it just seemed to get a little worse, and in 2008 it got in the basement, almost to the top stairs, almost to the end of the building. It all happened all at once, and we had 15, 20 inches of rain to the south. It feeds into the upper Gasconade and the upper Piney, and by 9:30 it was coming in the building. It raised over 9 feet in 3 hours. That's how fast it came, and the velocity, I thought the building was going to go. This building is solid as a rock. We started back in about the 3rd or 4th of May when we get back in the building. with volunteers and friends and people that worked it for us and have worked for us and are working for us. And they turned to and they gutted this building within 4 days. There's just so many people to thank. I don't think I know how to even go about listing them. But we're getting ready. It's a whole new ball game this time. It's all going to be brand new for people when they come in. We preserved the window with the stickers on it. We glassed over it so we couldn't break it out. We had stickers all over the front door. We had to get rid of the door because it was destroyed. But it's all memorabilia. You can see the stuff laying over here on the table. So many people bring things into us and we put them on the wall, and pretty soon you run out of wall space. But everything is fairly different. It's the same, but it's different. I mean, it's a lot better, it's a lot cleaner, a lot newer. They used to say it takes a village to raise a child.
That's right.
Well, it took a whole county to raise this business back up.
But the important thing is you didn't give up. You hung on your dream, and you had good friends to be right there with you.
Ma'am, first 4 days, I didn't care. I did not care. I did not care. And the locals, I never did. I expressed real big, heavy disappointment. But they got to me and they kept saying, we're going to do it, we're going to do it. I said, okay. All of my friends turned to, and all of her friends turned to, and everybody turned to and came down here and just made it happen. It took a while. I mean, it took from May to October 4th. Literally May 1st to October 4th.
It was such a historic place.
Right.
And not only that, obviously you're well loved. So.
Well, I was here 18 years as a conservation agent, and I still know a lot of people. I mean, I'm known. I grew up in Hannibal, Missouri, but I lived here longer than I've ever lived anywhere in my life. But I can't list the people, but I want to thank them all if they watch this. Everybody that's had a little hand in this. We had tourists. A week after this all happened, we had a motorcycle group come through from Norway. And that first group that came by gave us a check for $500, took it out of their pockets right here, and gave us a check for $500. It was a group effort within the community and also elsewhere. They put one of those things on the internet. It's a fundraiser.
A GoFundMe?
GoFundMe. And before we knew it, we had $10,000 in it. And we used our savings too, but it's cost a damn sight more than $10,000 to do this. But it was a labor of love for everybody here. I'm beginning to love it again.
Good. Let's go with your menu a little bit. What all are you going to have on your menu, and what?
Well, it'll be the same menu. We'll have some additions. We haven't worked that out yet. It's going to be smoked meats. It'll be pork spare ribs, the big ones, not St. Louis cut. Lots of meat on them, and we'll have pulled pork with sauce, with our barbecue sauce in it. Smoked pork steaks. Smoked chicken breasts. Big hit that we've got now is smoked chicken wings, and we use the same barbecue rub on our wings and our chickens as we do on the pork. We got a whole gamut of fried food,
You got a full menu.
Big pork tenderloin sandwiches, breaded pork tenderloin sandwiches, all kinds of appetizers, cheese sticks, mushrooms, everything you can imagine. Stuff. We have salads, house salads, and then you can doctor them up with smoked brisket, which we do have, chopped up smoked brisket, chopped up chicken, fried or smoked, and or just a regular salad. And it's a big salad. It's like a Cobb salad. It's got a lot of stuff in it.
Okay.
It's not just lettuce and tomatoes. It's got a lot of stuff in it.
Okay, and are you going to have a big grand opening on October the 4th,
or
coming soon, or is this
is just we just wanted to get this thing.
You just want to open.
Want to get, because people just want to see it. They want to get inside. They want to get back and sit down. It's all different inside. I mean, it's the same, but it's all shiny new. Mm-hmm. They redid the bar top in there, and that bar top is made out of cedar. It's milled. It was cut off the hillsides here on the Sheldon farm, milled at a sawmill down in Newburgh, and built by a friend of mine that used to live here as my pit master until he retired, Popeye. They called him Popeye. His name's Gary Severson, and he was an old vet too. And he did a lot of the work around here. Built that bar top. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that we do well.
Well, I hope you do well too. Congratulations on your rebuilding, and we look forward to coming back after you're open.
Absolutely.